concerned about the behavior and how the young people, of course, we are trying to take politics in this era. We are so much keen, or we are so much making so much effort on what we did in June 2024 than what we are preparing to do in 2027. Young people, they are prepared to vote, but they are preparing to vote at their convenience. And I can tell you, we cannot be competing with the people we are asking them to make us systems that we shall facilitate us to vote them out at our convenience. Mm-hmm. They will not usually do that to us. Nick said that in politics or electoral process, it is a political war. Of course, politics is a political war. And in this time, any government perceives youth, civil societies, the church, and the media as their enemies. Mm-hmm. So, however we want to ask the government to be free and fair onto us, of course, I'm not expecting for them to be free. I'm not expecting them, but we are demanding for them to create a system where we can vote at our bed sitters or at our bedrooms. They will not. We have to work hard. We have to get out the vote, get ourselves, mobilize our own selves, and also mobilize the elder generation so that we can go queue and vote. And we cannot vote when you are not registered. You said that, of course, it is a data that only 90,000 that were registered as voters during the 2 months enrolled or continuous electoral process. But I can tell you, I was able to mobilize a few of them in Othaya constituencies. Last 2022, I applied for a member of parliament in Othaya, and I have the experience of how the young people behave, especially at such a time. I don't think there is a time when young people will want to be at the same place or at the same side of political side if we do not have our own presidential candidate, because we have, as young people, we are perceived to have a similar interest, employment. But we have young people who are devolved into various sectors. We have young people into education. We have young people into health. We are young people into politics. And I think as young people in politics, we have a very long way to go to lead to this country. And of course, show other young people our way onto politics, because we have neglected to play our own politics. We have neglected our own game. We are playing their games, people who have disoriented us, people who have conned us, people who have disrespected us, but we are playing their own game. We are assisting them to still stick and of course be in power when we are still crying and demanding them to make things
and you see
work easier for us.
The challenges have been listed by the civil society: voter suppression, voter bribery, use of state resources, violence. Now, these are things that even young people can experience. Do you see a situation where even the youth, both aspirants and potential voters, are still vulnerable to these same problems, that you're still susceptible to voter bribery? Of course, you need the money. That voter suppression, there's a way, despite how active and how talkative you may be online, that there's a way, and you've talked about how apathetic you are to going out, leaving your bedroom and going to vote. That's already voter suppression by design. The use of state resources that many of you do not have access to. Don't you think that the system has already conspired to ensure that you'll be of no consequence come 2027?
You are right about that. Because, well, a hungry man possibly will take the bribe, possibly will take the money. But then we are hoping for a best case scenario, like she had said about Kisii, where people took the money but did not vote in government candidates. That's a best case scenario. But youths have been used and misused as goons from since immemorial. We all know that goons are always young people. It is not started today. It's not a problem that is unique to the Gen Zs. It's a problem that's unique to young people because they have the energy, they have the time, and most of them are idle. But then we are hoping for a best case scenario. And by the way, I need to throw a ball to the civil society and to the churches we have in Kenya. For those who might not know, the constitution we have today, the support and the clamor for the constitution we have today was started by civil society groups, then seconded by the church. The politicians, the likes of Raila Odinga, who we fondly refer to as the father of the constitution we have today, took up the fight later. But this fight was started in the 80s and in the 90s by the civil society groups and by the churches we have in Kenya. We want to remind the church that the war is not over, that the battle has not been won, and that we still have an enemy to fight, and we still have to fight bad governance, we still have to fight voter apathy, we still have to fight electoral fraud, and we need them because they have the resources.
Do you feel let down by these two organizations?
Yes.
The church and the civil society.
What is the church doing? They have a spotlight, they have a platform. What is the civil society doing? To me, the civil society group in Kenya, not to demean them, appears to be a litany of groups that love complaining and that are too reactive than proactive. I don't see them doing civic education. I don't see them getting to the grassroots and engaging voters. I don't see them doing that as much. But I see them every other time on presses, on sponsored interviews, lamenting about this and that and this and that. What happened to their proactiveness? What happened to the church? The church gave us William Ruto. Let us be honest for once. The church gave us William Ruto, knowing who he was. But this church still does not want to admit that it failed this country, and it doesn't want to right its wrongs. I would want to see the church use its platform to engage the young voters, to engage the Gen Zs, and to use its platform to push the young people to actually register as voters, and to help IEBC get to the young people, because these young people are in churches. Not all of them are as
I wanted to
atheistic
challenge
as
that,
people
because
think.
I'm also made to understand that young people